In this section, we're going to look at how we track activity in these various social media. This is an Excel spreadsheet that I've created that basically lists for the month of September. You can see right here. I'll highlight that for you. Month of September 2009. These are social media postings that I've done. You see here the Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. So I went down to Twitter today. Today happens to be the 12th, so we'll put an X there. That got mirrored over into Facebook, so we'll put an X there. And it's kind of convenient for me because I always have it automatically copied over. But then I actually spend more time in Facebook. I spend very little time in Twitter. So Facebook is a more meaningful thing, even though the first posting is automatically mirrored from Twitter. We went to LinkedIn and we poked around a little bit, made a posting. Now notice over here is my Facebook Network Migration Workbook group, and we visited that, but I didn't post a picture, I didn't make a comment, I didn't respond to anybody's questions, I didn't do anything in that group, so I'm not going to put an X there today because I have not actually done anything in that group that would cause anybody to look or see or know that I'm active in the group. So for today, I'm not going to put an X in that. If you look across the top, I have the list of all of the things I follow. So there's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then I have YouTube, MySpace, Plaxo. TripIt is an interesting location because it's a media outlet where you can post your upcoming itinerary for travel, and other people can post theirs. And then if you happen to be in the same area at the same time, you'll both get a notice and you can maybe make arrangements to have lunch together or whatever. Classmates.com. I have a second Twitter specifically for my technology business, KP Enterprises, and I try to post to that, as you can see, 4 times a month. That's about once a week. Then I have a fun one, just country western lyrics that I post up on Twitter, and I have the Facebook group. These items across the top that I'm highlighting, this is my set of goals for the month. So I hope to post 15 times to Twitter, 15 times to Facebook, 5 times to LinkedIn, once to YouTube, once to MySpace, and so forth. And actually, I'll show you what I do here. Once to MySpace, when I do actually post something to the group, when I meet my goal, I turn it green on the day that I meet my goal, and I turn it green for the top line as well. And that way I will know that I've met it, so I can just glance across the top and see the ones that are not yet green, so that, you know, in the later half of the month I can say, oh, here's all of these things where I need to just make one posting. I need to have some presence before the month is out. Down at the bottom, you'll see I've got a total of all the activity for the month, and if September had 31 days, I would have a 31 here as well, but since it doesn't, I took it out. But this totals all the way down through that line, so if you had 31 days, they would be included in the total. Each of these columns is totaled up here for how many postings there were so far this month. And then the total for the month is here, and you can see that that's the sum of all of those other postings. So that way I have some idea of how many times I'm actually doing something. And you can also see that at an average, let's say that it's 30 seconds each. Okay, well, I've only spent 22 minutes this month in all of the activity that I've done online. And it might be a little more than that, but not much. Finally, I have a listing of the followers that I have on each of these services. So if we go back here, we go to Twitter, and I look and see I have 249 followers. So I'll update that, and then I go to Facebook, and I don't update these very often, but just to make sure. And I see now in Facebook what you do is you go to your profile, and once that updates, it will tell you right here, 280 friends. So I'll put that 280, got 5 extra this week. And then we go to LinkedIn, and on LinkedIn, on the left-hand side of your home page is something that says Connections. So you click on connections, and eventually it'll update and tell me that there are 198 connections. So I added 8 connections this week. It's kind of confusing sometimes because on Facebook there's also a thing where you say friends, and it's kind of like connections, and you think I want to go to friends, but it gives you a list of all your friends right here, but it doesn't have a total across the top that tells you how many there are. So it's kind of interesting that you've got a list of all these friends and you can keep going, but you don't know how many pages and you don't know how many total. But anyway, just a different way of doing things. And of course Twitter's pretty easy because it's right there how many you're following and how many are following you. I used to update this every quarter, and starting this month I'm just going to do it every month because I have so many things that they actually fill up more than half the screen. But it's just a simple way for me to keep track of this. Like anything else in your promotion efforts, you should keep track of what you're doing. You should budget your time, budget your effort, budget your energy, and you should also measure your results. Remember what Brian Tracy says, what gets measured gets done. So if you have a goal that you've set of what you want to accomplish with this piece of social media, then you should measure how much you're giving to it, and then measure how much you're getting out of it. And if you think, well, oh, you know, I update it all the time and nothing ever happens, well, you need to really consider for yourself, how many times did you actually go there and contribute something in a way that it brought some attention to your business, or to create a social community, or draw attention to yourself, or present your business in a good light. If you're not putting out the effort, then it seems like it's a little difficult for other people to go ahead and follow you when you're not really doing anything that's useful for them. So you have to put something out if you want to get something back.